Hi everyone, I'm Sandy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have my official TBR for you for 2025 for the 1001 book countdown. If you're not familiar with the 1001 book countdown, I will leave a card up here for you where you can go and check out the original video. But basically I'm reading books off of this monster, the 1001 books you must read before you die list. I've been working on this project for a number of years and slowly making my way through it. I combined all editions together though of this book, which actually gave me 1,315 books, and I'm just taking my time making my way through it. Yeah, it's been a huge project. I like this project quite a bit just because I love a good list. I love crossing things off the list. I love feeling like I'm accomplishing something with it, even if not all the books are my kind of books or things that I want to read. But this is really what I do want to be reading, or is making progress off of this list. So it fulfills something in me for some reason to get through that. If I could accomplish this in my lifetime, I would be so incredibly happy. So what I normally do at the beginning of the year is I pre-select 52 books and try and make my way through those in the year, ideally reading one per week. If you followed my channel in 2024, you may know I did not do so well in 2024. I only made it about halfway through the books I had targeted to read. I had a lot going on in the year. I got a new job. My son got married. We were traveling, and it disrupted quite a bit. And I just really had a hard time trying to get caught up in that. So I don't know. I'm going to set the 52 for 2025 and see how it goes. But I am going to do something a bit different this year. I do have the books from 2024 that I did not finish. I think for 2025, if I read any of those, they should count towards my 52 number that I like to achieve. And then I'm going to do a little bit more of a random kind of selection. And I'll go through what those are. But the first ones, I have a stack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here. So we'll start with those 9 and then come up with the rest, the 43 more that we need. So the first 6 are the book club picks, which Britta Bowler and I announced last week or a week before now. And they were Reasons to Live by Amy Hempel, Carol Shields' The Stone Diaries, Delta of Venus by Anais Nin. I'm not sure if that's how you say that. The Pursuit of Love by Nancy Mitford. The Female Quixote by Charlotte Lennox. And Don't Move by Margaret Mazzantini. Those are the 6 book club picks. I also had purchased 3 additional books that weren't on my 2024 TBR. I'm going to go ahead and include those, which will take me to the 9 number. The first one is The Gathering by Anne Enright. I wanted to read this one. I had originally checked out one of her more recent books, The Wren, and have wanted to kind of read her a little bit, but didn't quite get to it in 2024. This one, it says, is the Man Booker Prize in 2007. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the Booker. I don't usually follow the Booker, so I'm hoping that this is a good read for me. But this is book number 7. I'm going to lose count of those numbers, so I'll have to drop doing that soon. The next one that I bought is Drop City by T.C. Boyle. I look at this cover and always think that they're skydiving. They're not skydiving. I think they're just without apparel laying in a circle on the grass. So yeah, I don't know anything about this. I've never read any T.C. Boyle, but that will be book 8. Yes, 8. And then the last one that I purchased is this one, The Lambs of London by Peter Ackroyd. This one I know is one of the worst rated books on the 1001 book list. So I'm going to go ahead and just try and tackle it and see if I can get it out of the way. But those are the first 9. So let me move those off camera. So what I thought I would do this year is kind of do a little bit, like I said, a little bit more random as far as how I'm going to select them. I have my phone here and I'm going to ask Siri to give me a random letter. Okay, so here we go. Siri, give me a random letter. All right, the random letter, if you can see that, is H. So what I'm going to do, I have my Goodreads open and I'm going to look at either the author or the title that starts with the letter H and select those. for my 1001 TBR. I thought that'd be kind of a fun way to do it. I think though, let me go take a quick look. I'll be right back. Okay, so in Goodreads, what I have is, if I look at authors whose last names start with H, there are 49 titles, which will put me over, which is okay. That way, if I want to read one versus another one, I could. If I did it by title, there are 48. So even numbers with those two, and not sure kind of which way I should do it. So I have a very small coin here, which you can't see. What I'm going to do is say heads is author and tails will be title. So let's see if I can flip a coin. I don't normally flip a coin. Okay, and it is heads. It is heads. If you can see, that is the head on the dime. So we will be doing it by author. I'm okay with that. I'm kind of excited. So here I will go through and share what titles I will be trying to read by authors that start with the letter H in the year 2025. I kind of like this because it gives me a big selection, a different selection. I will end up having to read, though, multiple titles by the same author, which I think is okay because there wasn't one in here that I was like, oh, I don't want to read that, or read that author very much. So when I glance through the list, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm optimistic, cautiously optimistic. I will try and put the screenshots of the books up here. I'm not going to show my Goodreads as I go through these. I will have a separate list out here like I do for every year that in Goodreads that shows the books that I have selected, though. So the first one is actually Forever a Stranger and Other Stories by Hella Hasse, Hasse. Originally published, it says, so this is all off of what Goodreads says. I haven't gone back and verified Goodreads publication dates. Published in 1996. It's a whopping 127 pages. I don't know in this particular one if it's just Forever a Stranger or or if it's other stories. So I will have to go and look at that as well for this particular one. The next one is King Solomon's Mines by H. Rider Haggard, originally published in 1885 and is 264 pages. So again, not too bad. I could try and put some stats at the end. No, I'm not going to do it yet. I'll do it later. I was going to say how many pages they are, but I won't do that. And I also have She by H. Rider Haggard, again, published in 1887. I have Hangover Square by Patrick Hamilton, originally published in 1941 and 334 pages. So far, so good. I really don't want a 1,000-page tome in this, but I may end up with one. So we'll see. So the next book on the list, there are two books by Knut Hamsun. The first one is Growth of the Soil, originally published in 1917, and Hunger, published in 1890. So I think Hunger is probably the more well-known one. Certainly the cover was more familiar to me when I saw it on the list. So that one, I'm really interested in that one. The next ones, there are three books by Peter Handke, Handke. I'm not sure how you say that. The first one is The Goalie's Anxiety at the Penalty Kick, which I'm familiar with only because of a soccer, football reading group that I was part of during, I think, the World Cup or the European Cup. That's the only reason why I know about that book. It was originally published in 1970 and it's only 133 pages. So good so far. The Afternoon of a Writer and The Left-Handed Woman are the other two books by this author. Both are under 100 pages. So woohoo! The next book, we have three books by Thomas Hardy coming up next. The first one is The Hand of Ethelberta. It originally published in 1876. It's 512 pages. Yeeks. Okay. I also have The Mayor of Casterbridge at 393 pages, published in 1886, and The Woodlanders, 464 pages, published in 1887. I have read a fair amount of Hardy. I'm going to have to break this up like once per quarter or something because I can't read 3 Hardy books in a given month. So we'll see how that goes. The next book is The Go-Between by L.P. Hartley, originally published in 1953. I've never read anything by that author, so that should be interesting. There are 3 books by Nathaniel Hawthorne, which are The Marble Fawn, The Blithedale Romance, and The House of Seven Seven Gables, all published between 1851 and 1860. So we're getting a good mix of publishing dates in here. I think that's also really great. I thought I had read The House of Seven Gables, but I guess not. Since it still has to be read on my list. I have Love in Excess by Eliza Hayward, published in 1719. I read the author's name and thought that was going to be a little bit more like early 1900s, not 1700s. So we'll see how that one goes. The next book is A Question of Power by Bessie Head, originally published in 1973. We have Ancestral Voices by Etienne van Heerden, Heerden, originally published in 1986 at 272 pages. So far, not too shabby. Not unhappy with the mix of things so far. All right. The next one is a book called Ancestral. Oh, I just said that one. The next book is actually Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert A. Heinlein, published in 1961. It's 525 pages. So far, that's the longest book on the list. I have a book called Aethiopica, Aithiopika, by Helodoros of Emesa. It does not list a publishing date in this. It also doesn't say the number of pages. Actually, it says a publishing date of year 300. So that's interesting. This is definitely going to be the oldest book on the list. The next one, only one. Sorry, I thought there was more than one. There's one, Ernest Hemingway, To Have and Have Not. I have read a number of Hemingway, so it'll be good to get into that one at 176 pages. Margot N. de England. There's probably a more, I'm not sure about this title, by Kristen Hemmerich, Hemmerechts, published in 1997, 238 pages. Excited to dig into what that one is. I have no idea. One of my book club picks is on this list, Reasons to Live by Amy Hempel. Great, perfect. We have Martin Fierro by Jose Hernandez, published in 1872. Wow, again, a big mix of publishing dates at 256 pages, though, so I'm not too unhappy about that. We have Dispatches by Michael Herr, published in 1977, and is 260 pages. So good. And then there are 3 books by Hermann Hesse. I have read Siddhartha. That's the last book, the only book by this author that I have read. The 3 books that are on here are Steppenwolf, Rosshald, Roshald, and The Glass Bead Game. And all published in the early 1900s. I'm excited to read another book by Hesse. I think that will be really good. It's like I said, the only one I've read is the Siddhartha. So I think that will be good. All of these are The Glass Bead. This is now the biggest book at 558 pages. So we're still not hitting the 1,000-page tome. Yay. All right. The next one I have is called Camera Obscura by Hildebrand, published in 1839. So we're getting back into some older time publishing dates, and it's 787 pages. Yikes. If you're familiar with that one, I'm curious, is this a really tough older book, or am I going to just be able to easily consume it? I don't know. We'll see. We have Blind Man with a Pistol by Chester Himes, originally published in 1969. The next one is A Kestrel for a Knave by Barry Hines, published in 1968. So that one again is 200 pages. Not too shabby. I mean, so far there's only been a couple that have been like scary long. So The House on the Borderland by William Hope Hodgson, published in 1908 at 152 pages. Smila's Sense of Show by Peter Hoeg, Hoeg, published in 1992, 480 pages. The Life and Opinions of Tomcat Murr by E.T.A. Hoffman, published in 1821, just under 400 pages. There's a book called The Private Memoirs and Confessions of a Justified Sinner. I love this title so much. It was originally published in 1824, so a little concerned about it, and it's 272 pages long. There's a book called Hyperion, Oder der, oh, I cannot pronounce this. I will put a cover up here for you by Friedrich Holderlin, published in 1797. Ugh, yikes, this is a bit of a lot of older books in here. There are 3 books by Alan Hollinghurst: The Folding Star, The Line of Beauty, and The Swimming Pool Library, all published between 1988 and 2004. I have seen The Line of Beauty at multiple used bookstores. I just have never picked it up. So that's an interesting one. I'm definitely curious about that particular one. We also have The Cathedral by Olas Honchar, Honchr. I apologize for butchering all these names. Originally published in 1968 and is about 300 pages. Not too bad. I have The Elementary Particles by Michel Hull. No, I'll put it up here. Originally published in 1998 and at 272 pages. So still, I'm not unhappy with this list. Closely Watched Trains by Bohumil Hrabal, published in 1965 at 85 pages. Ooh, I'm loving that. That's great. I have 2 books by Aldous Huxley, and neither one of them is his most popular work, which I had already read. Antique, Eyeless and Gaza, there's 3 actually, and Chrome Yellow are the 3 books by him. One is over 500 pages, so wish me luck on that one. Was it Brave New World that he also wrote that I have read? So that one's not on this list. And there are there's only a few books left now. Against the Grain, published in 1884, 255 pages. And then we have La Bosse. I'm not sure on this one. It's published in 1891, 304 pages. Carry Me Down by M.J. Hyland, published in 2006, 352 pages. And the last one is Anne Hebert, Hebert, The First Garden, published in 1988 and is 176 pages. I lied. There's one more. Sorry. Paradise of the Blind by, I apologize. This is an author. I can't pronounce their name very easily. And it was published in 1988 and is 277 pages long. And that's the list. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to focus on those plus the 9 that I own and see. And then, like I said, if I read any of the books that I own, I'm going to count it off of the 52. If I were a big overachiever, which I kind of am, but I would try and read all of the ones I have and try and make up from last year. I'm not going to do that. If I make it through the 52, then we can reevaluate and add a few more if I want. But yeah, well, we're just going to kind of go with that for now. I think there's some really great titles, some really interesting ones, some more common ones that I wasn't kind of aware, or more common ones that I wanted to read, and some that I had never, ever heard of. So we will be exploring this together over 2025. I think that this will be a really good mix of books. I am concerned about a couple of them, but the good news is that there's no 1,000+ page list in this or book in this one. So what do you think of this list? Are there any in here that you've read that I should get excited about? Are you familiar with some of these? I would love to hear your comments down below. I'm really hoping that this energizes me to read a bit more in this and kind of see what I can get up to in 2025. Let's see if I can make the 52 number. That would be the goal in 2025, is to read all 52 or read 52 books. That's all I wanted to do, read 52 books. So hopefully you consider giving me a subscribe and sticking around and seeing how well I do on this list this year. Let me know if you like this way of selecting the books for 2025. And if that's something I should do in the future, I'd love to hear that. As always though, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone, thanks. Bye.